It's summertime at the CNET Smart Home, so we're taking a break from the gadgets and gizmos to get a cold hard look at coolers. You've got a lot of options if you're shopping for a new one this summer, ranging from dirt cheap to hundreds of dollars. So which ones are the smartest buys? Let's start by taking a look at the metric that probably matters most: performance. I tested 12 coolers ranging in price from $4 to $400 in our climate-controlled test lab by tracking the ambient temperature inside all of them over 48 hours. Inside each one, 3 pounds of ice. Now that's not a lot, that's not even half of a small-sized bag from the gas station, but I wanted to challenge the coolers and get a good granular look at how they perform. In the end, the test delivered, giving us a terrific look at the differences from model to model. Now that pink line at the bottom, that represents our top performer, the popular Yeti Tundra 45. It's a thick, rugged cooler with a fancy roto-molded design, and at $300, it doesn't come cheap. Now, roto-molding, that's short for rotational molding, and it's just what it sounds like. The mold is literally rotated as the plastic is poured in, and that helps it set more evenly for better durability and insulation. And as the Yeti and other coolers like it show, roto-molding can make a huge difference in how well your cooler keeps things cold. That leaves Yeti as my top pick for people who just want the best performance money can buy, but be aware that Yeti's coolers are smaller than the name suggests. For instance, the Tundra 45 here isn't a 45-quart cooler, it actually only holds about 33 quarts. Not cool, Yeti. For something bigger, consider the Orca Classic cooler, another roto-molded model that costs about $300. It doesn't hold the cold quite as long as the Yeti does, but it hit the same minimum temperatures in my tests, and at 58 quarts, there's about 35% more space inside for your beer. If you don't want to spend hundreds, don't worry. I found a couple of good picks that cost a lot less, too. Let's start with my top overall value pick, the Igloo Max Cold Cooler. At a price of just $45, it isn't anything fancy to look at, but it performs like a champ, better than any other cheap cooler I tested, and better than 2 of the 4 roto-molded models that I tested too. Another good value for the price, the Lifetime High Performance Cooler. I picked mine up at Walmart for 97 bucks. It performed just as well as the Igloo Max Cold, and the extra $50 or so gets you a much better design with dual lid latches, roped handles, and even a built-in bottle opener, which seems like something every cooler should include. I also measured it at 62.4 quarts, which is bigger than advertised and about 35% bigger than Igloo. That brings us to wheeled coolers. I tested a few out to try and find a good pick for folks who want to bring their cooler with them on their next hike. The cheap models I looked at felt flimsy and underperformed in my tests, but I was blown away by the mobility and durability of the Rover Roller 60. With 9-inch inflatable rubber wheels and a sturdy steel frame, the thing is built like a tank, and the roto-molded design offers strong cooling performance too, though not as strong as Orca or Yeti. At $400, it was the most expensive cooler that I tested, but until I find a good rolling value pick, I say it's a wheeled cooler worth saving up for. Oh, and one last thing. If you're just looking for something dirt cheap, don't even bother with $20 coolers like this Rubbermaid or Igloo models. This disposable styrofoam cooler cost me just $4, and it held its minimum temperature longer than either of them. For more cooler insights, check out our full roundup post on CNET.com. Now, time to enjoy some of these test suds.